Okay, hello guys, welcome back to my video, and this is the video 14 of the challenge speaking English every day until I get fluent at speaking English. And the topic we have today is books and reading. This is a hard one for me because I don't read books that much, but I will try my best to last this video as long as possible as I can. So let's dive into the topic. The first question is, what does books and reading mean to you? Mean. So, personally, because I'm a type of person who doesn't like to read books. So, books and like books, it is not like an essential part of my life. I can live in a happy way without a book. I just read books like whenever I get in the mood, like whenever I feel I want to read something to improve my knowledge. And because of that, books and reading doesn't mean too much in my life. I just read books, depends on my emotion, it depends on my thoughts at that time. And to be honest, I really detest I really detest reading books. Like whenever I open a book up, there are so much words, and like when I see a page which is covered, which is full of words, like I will feel overwhelmed. Like if I'm reading like this, yeah, I will be reading in a stupid way, in a silly way. I don't really put my focus on that book because it's really hard to keep focus on the book which like which is con- which is which has a lot of words, which has a lot of meaning meaningless meaningless stories. And because of that, if I want to read if I want to read some books, if I want to read a book, that book need that book need to have the ability to contain like images, to contain clear stories, and to contain like useful knowledge for me, useful information. Yeah, useful information. And that's that are those are things that will attract me to read a book. How often do you engage with books and reading in your life? So basically, I don't read books that much, but sometimes, like, I read some books before, so like I know the frequency I read a book, but I I will tell you the situations that when do I read a book. Like my mother or my father recommends me to read a book. They will buy me that book, and I will be forced to read that book. And then I just try like, okay, I will read this. Let's see if there's something new, something interesting, something compelling in this book. And yeah, I will read that book in an obeying way. Obeying way. The third question is, what challenges did you face related to books and reading? So to be honest, I'm really lazy to read a book. I'm really sluggish to be honest. So because of that, the biggest challenge is myself. Like I really hate reading books. So I don't know what to say more. Like I just hate reading books, but because of that, like I will tell you something like this. Whenever I have dinner or mostly having dinner with my family, the big there will be a shelf behind me which contains a lot of books that my mom has read before, and like I will spontaneously I will spontaneously take a book out of the shelf, and I will open that and read out loud to everybody in my house, even though I just read that for fun. I don't. That's my habit of reading books. Like I don't really read a book in a serious way, but I will try something funny whenever I read a book. Like, oh, hey, little sister, look at this book. This one contains some education, some sex education, something like that. That would be really funny for you to read about that. Yeah, I will do something which is funny for me when I read a book. How has books and reading changed over time? So I haven't thought about this too much before, but if I have to say, maybe that in the past, like people just made books depends on like it's their it's their favorite activity. It was their favorite activity. So making a book, like they just made a book because they loved to make a book. So because of that, often a book when a book when which is like which was established a long time ago, like it will have a really bad cover. Like you will see a book which just with a cover with which like consists only some texts and a simple color background. Like you will see a background with just one color, black, blue, green, something like that. They don't add they didn't add too much effects on that book. But nowadays books are something books are something being put being put on the commercial industry, and because of that they need to sell books for making profit. But if they want to sell books, that book needs to have the ability of attracting people. So because of that, books nowadays have so much effect on the cover. Like you will always see a book which like which consists a lot of colors and plenty of characters, plenty of items, plenty of animals, because like that's a good way for them to sell a book successfully. So I think that's also the big trans that's also a big transformation from the old book to a new book in these years. What are your opinions or preferences about books and reading? So I will tell you something. I will tell you my opinions about reading books. Like sometimes I consider reading books is a bad habit that will affect your eyes negatively. Like I have seen a lot of people read book read books in the wrong way, and because of that, it it led to uh, it led to the situation that they are all having bad eyes disease. So I did a few researches about reading books and did how it did how it does bad negative on people eyes, and I found that books there's no problems with books or reading books. The problem is how you read a book. Um, Often, people scientists say that if you want to read a book, you have to read a book in a proper light. Like you have to read a book in with enough light. If you read a book in a space which is too dark, like it will affect your eyes really negatively. But if you have enough light when you read a book, that will be much more effective for you to inform to consume the information in the book. um, and the second issue is the posture. Yeah, I mean the posture that they use when they read a book, because many like I have this book here. This is a book which is related to ChatGPT. I have read this book before. That was a great book for me. That was a great book for me. So a lot of people they read a book in a wrong posture. Like if they need to, then they need to read a book in in a far distance. Yeah, in a far distance. But sometimes they just put it too close to their face, and it will make their eyes it will make the eyes become more stretching. Like if this is your eyes before, it will it will have the tendency of stretching your eyes more more longer. Yeah, I mean if this is your eye then, and if you read books in the bad posture, that your eyes will have the tendency of being stretching out like this, and because of that you will have problems with your eyes if you read books in this close. So whenever you read a book, you need to put your book far from your face like this. Maybe it will be a little bit uncomfortable. It will be a little bit hard, uh, yeah, difficult to read your books, but it will help you. It will help you to protect your eyes from being stretched out. And the final question today is: can you share a memorable experience related to books and reading? So, I will tell you, like, I will tell you about the first, the first books I have ever read in my life. I don't talk about the food, and I don't talk about the books that I read when I was at the grade one. Like I was just starting to how to read at that age. So I will talk to you about how the books that I have read when I was in the second grade. Yeah. So there was a list. There was a series of books which is which is named Tỷ Quậy. That's a Vietnamese book, and the first book that I have ever read, it was about a guy with his best friends. They they do a lot. They do a lot of stupid stuff when they were in their childhood. I I I have read many things about like how did they go to school together, how did they do some silly tricks when they are in the class, and how did they talk to the parents, how they skipped the class, how they made a lot of stupid tricks when they were a child, and when they were children. Yeah, I mean that my grandma is kind of bad. So for me personally, that that book that I have read was a book which is really great, which is really funny when I read at the time, because like my mentality at the time was not mature enough to know what is more funny than that. Like that book was just prepared for kids to read. So for me at the time, that book like was a so for me at the time, that book was huge success for the author who made that book, because that book, it contained enough sub, enough substances to make that book become something which is really suitable for children to read. It like it has great content. The contents in that book were all related to children children memory, children childhood. So it's really close to children to read. It's really suitable for children to read. The second reason is it was really funny to read. Like many children, like they got a lot of motivation to do the tricks that the Othello, two characters in that book, did. And many children who read that book, they got a lot of motivation to do the tricks that T and Theo did. And because of that, I consider that that was also a great book for children to enhance their childhood, become something which is really cool. And I also got a lot of motivation when I read that book. And the third reason why that book was a huge success, because it was cheap. Yeah, that's all enough substances, all enough things for a book to become successful at that time. And I think today I speak at a part, but today is like it is great step for me. Like I have improved a little bit in this video. I hope so. This is also the end of the video. I hope you guys enjoy it. Maybe I talk kind of bad in this video, and my level now is just like a 5 band. I don't know. It's kind of bad. I'm 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 now I cannot be able to speak in a fluent way now. Like I think I need to practice more in the future. I believe that I can be able to reach about the level of 7 or 8, something like that, if I give enough focus when I am doing this challenge, and I hope you guys enjoy it. This is the longest video that I have ever made. And I believe that in the future make I will make more videos with longer time, a longer period, because I believe that if I mumble English enough, yeah, I mumble English enough, my English will spontaneously improve over time. So thank you guys. So once again, thank you guys all for listening.